Yeah, the open internet has really been a channel for advertisers to gain scale and access in a truly an unparalleled way. Now, the ways in which it's changing with generative AI particularly is one, very fast-paced. Two, we're seeing lots of content creation acceleration through certainly varying qualities of content, be that text or video. But ultimately for advertisers, it creates a unique opportunity to gain even more precision, even more relevance by creating different iterations of their creative and by associating that creative to users in hyper-contextual ways in which it frankly just wasn't efficient to do historically.
Jeremy, to flip that question, what advantages does AI bring to advertisers working outside the walled gardens?
I think the open internet is a wonderful channel for advertisers to really capitalize on a very wide swath of data signals. As we know, AI is only as powerful as the data that it's trained on. And across the open internet, we have the ability to leverage a very wide array of user signals, contextual signals, purchasing behaviors that are wider than what might be available to a single platform. The challenge for technology companies and platforms is to bring those signals together and really help advertisers create a rich picture of a specific cohort of users that might be high-value prospects or high-value customers for that advertiser.
So how do you see AI helping publishers in, conversely, on the open web better compete and monetize?
I think there's a really incredible opportunity ahead for publishers to create a new type of experience for consumers and really rethink the media and content experience, not just from a production standpoint, but the way in which users interact with content, the way in which content can be personalized at a scale that may not have been possible historically. The way that media or publishers can create more immersive experiences and really focus on kind of the core of the quality of the information, but work with AI-based technology to leverage that information in a way that historically just wasn't possible. And I think creating consumer experiences that delight people, that keep them coming back, and that also help publishers monetize more richly than they've been able to historically.
Transparency is such a priority for both advertisers and publishers, particularly in our AI-driven world. So what role does transparency play in ensuring that AI-tied outcomes remain trusted and measurable?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think the opportunity and challenge that we have as an industry is to make sure we've got the right guardrails on the sources of data that we're using, the quality of that data, be it from a targeting or planning or targeting perspective or from a measurement perspective. I mean, ultimately, when you're a brand that is measuring lower funnel outcomes, which is part of what we deliver at Teads, typically you can see movement in products, sales in products, cars being sold, online conversions, leads, et cetera, that you're able to measure with a high degree of accountability. Where I think there's more pressure for the whole ecosystem is to find the right proxies to determine the value of their advertising, right? And drive more accountability from the platforms that they're working with. And I think some of the metrics and KPIs that we've used as an industry historically might be becoming a bit obsolete. And we have an opportunity to move some of the currencies to things that matter more and that account for the fact that the user journey is a fragmented user journey. And that, for example, someone typing something into a search bar and then clicking on an ad, that may not be the only ad that they've been exposed to. And really understanding that user journey and modeling that user journey thanks to AI tools is something that is easier for us to do as an industry now.
So picking up on your point about the obsolescence of a lot of traditional metrics and measurements, is that where you see breakthroughs coming in the next year or so, or is it other areas that you're seeing in terms of particularly AI-powered advertising in the open internet?
Yeah, I think that's certainly one of the areas, right? I mean, our entire focus as a business at Teads is on delivering more outcomes. So going beyond the CPM, going beyond a simple impression, and be that an upper funnel outcome like driving brand lift or brand awareness, in many cases even on a guaranteed basis, or incremental reach, or on a lower funnel basis, driving conversions and sales. And I think historically, we are still stuck a little bit in the old adage of 50% of advertising works and 50% doesn't work. We just don't know which is which. I think we certainly have the opportunity to move the needle in that space. And so proxy metrics like attention, for example, continues to be one in which we're invested. And we see great results in using attention as a predictor or as a leading metric for driving some kind of business result with an ad campaign. We also see AI obviously being a very, very critical accelerator, a catalyst for driving more experimentation with creative and messaging in a way that just historically was completely inefficient. The industries love to talk about dynamic creative optimization for years. A lot of that, unfortunately, has been kind of smoke and mirrors. But AI and generative AI around creative is clearly an opportunity for us as an industry to deliver on that decade-plus promise.